Hi YouTube family, happy Saturday. It is a very cold and windy day here in Canada. I'm in my backyard and I came out to get a carrot from my garden because today I'm going to be sharing a recipe for carrot bake. Let's see what we have here. And there is one carrot right here. See, fresh from the garden, and then there's another one here. I want to make sure that I have enough carrots in these ones are not fully mature, but I will take them inside and I'll eat those like that. But let me get another one. So let's get a nice big one from this batch here. Let me see. I still haven't cleaned up the garden yet, but I'm gonna be doing so this weekend for sure. And then there's a nice one here. So those two will work for me to make my carrot bake today. So to make our carrots bake, of course we need carrots, and you guys see I just pulled these from my garden, washed them, and I removed the skin. And I also picked a bitter melon or corilla. I'm still harvesting from the garden. And I'm going to use this in my pickle, so I'll leave it on the side, cut it up, and add it to my pickle for later. And we want to grate this on a cheese grater because a little boy in this house been asking me for how long?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. 3 weeks now to make this dish for him. So I can't resist because he said, Mom, Thanksgiving is coming and you still didn't make it. So today is the perfect day. We're going to have this delicious fried fish and bake made with carrots inside and some really delicious seasoning just for Matthew. To make our carrot bakes, I have all my ingredients laid out, and I will leave all the ingredients and measurement in the description box below. We have some melted butter, some green seasoning, baking powder, brown sugar, yeast, my grated carrot, some extra flour, and here I have my all-purpose flour. I'm just gonna grab my water, and I have water to knead the dough. So first of all, we're gonna go in with our baking powder. You can add a pinch of salt, but I'm using salted butter, so I'm gonna leave the salt out. And we're gonna go in with the sugar, yeast, all the dry ingredients. We wanna mix it in a little. And this bake is not the one that we're gonna fry. This is the one that we cook in the oven, so it's a real bake. And now we're gonna go in with our melted butter. We're gonna go in with our green seasoning. And this is just to flavor up the bake. You can leave out the green seasoning or any ingredients that I added and you don't like, you can always leave it out. Now we're gonna go in with our carrots. We want to make sure that we add the carrots now and mix it into the dry flour because the carrot have some moisture, and before adding water we want to mix in the carrot well so we don't add too much liquid. So now we're going to go in with some room temperature water slowly. And we're gonna mix to form a nice dough. And I just added all of it because I made this so many times. I know the exact amount of water that I have to add in here. And then we're gonna nicely put together our dough. So look at my dough, beautifully done. You can see the carrots everywhere, and that's what I love because when I'm adding vegetables to any of my doughs, I like to see it. You can see the green seasoning here, and I know it's gonna be a good one. So I'm gonna rest it for 5 minutes. In the meantime, I'm gonna warm up my oven and brush my baking dish, and I'll show you. I did this video on my channel before, the bake done in the oven, but today version I'm adding carrots and some seasoning into this one, so it's a little bit different. But trust me, if you feel like eating bake and you don't want to stand there and fry for an hour or half an hour, this is a perfect way to just leave it in your oven, and while you're preparing your side dish, this can cook, and in no time you'll have your beautiful bake with whatever side dish you like. So now I'm gonna just brush my pan with some coconut oil. You can add butter or any oil of your choice just to avoid the sticking. And you can rest your dough for a little while for it to rise a bit. But today I'm just making this quickly. We can have lunch in time. And I'm not gonna rest mine, that's fine. If you're in a hurry, you don't have to rest it. So once the dish is nicely brushed with oil, we're gonna go in now with our mixture, and look at that, beautiful color. And what you want to do is nicely press it down evenly from one end to the other, so we have an even dough to bake at a nice texture. Look how beautiful my dough is looking. So nice and so beautiful. The color is amazing, and it's kind of smell a little bit like pulauri because of the seasoning. I'm gonna brush it with some butter on the top before we put it into the oven, so it can finish with a nice brown finish. And you can hear that my oven is ready, and we want to make sure that all over is brushed. Wow, this is looking beautiful. Matthew will enjoy this bake today with the fried fish. And now the next thing we want to do is just take a fork, because we don't want this bake to swell. We want it to have a nice thickness, but not too thick again. So this is going to help it from not swelling up and have the perfect thickness, just enough to slice the middle and add the fish to the inside. Look how beautiful. We're putting this in a 350-degree oven until it's nice and brown on the top. I'll give the accurate time when it's done. So today I'm going to be using Bangamary, and these are Bangamary from Guyana, and I always like to use the PSI Mid-Atlantic Seafood. For all my Canadian friends, you usually get a beautiful Bangamary when you buy it. You can still see that these are not very old. They're nice and plump and very good. So I'm gonna dry them up. I just finished scrubbing them, washing nicely. I'm gonna dry them up and cut them into smaller pieces, and then we'll start the seasoning process. So I have here the Bangamary nicely dried up, and I cut them in small pieces to fit into our bakes. And here I have some simple ingredients. I have some green seasoning, which have green onions, garlic, pepper, fine thyme, broadleaf thyme, and oregano. That alone is perfect for the fish, but we have to add some salt, some black pepper, and I'm gonna go in with some paprika because it will add some heat and a nice color. So first of all, I like to go in with the salt, and I'm gonna make sure I work this in on both sides of the fish so they're fully coated with the ingredients. And I want to make sure that I have enough. We're gonna go in with our black pepper, and this is freshly cracked black pepper. I'm gonna leave all the measurement and ingredients in the description box below. And now we're gonna add our beautiful green seasoning, and I'm gonna really mix everything in well. And you can see it already developed a beautiful color from the paprika. How it smells, Ma?
It smells amazing.
And because Bangamary is such a delicate fish, I don't want to add too much things to it to overpower that nice beautiful flavor of the fish. And I'm not going to marinate this for too long because the marinade gets into the fish really quickly. So I'm going to start up my oil and we're going to get frying. So I have some flour here, and I always season my flour before I dust the fish with a little bit of salt, paprika, and some black pepper. So I'm going to lightly dust the fish just like that, and we're going to just brush out all the excess. And I'm going to add these to my oil. And we're going to fry them until golden brown on both sides. So check out the fried fish. Very nice and brown and crispy. And this is my favorite part right here. I have 3 of them. So one of those are mine for sure. Let me know us below what's your favorite part of the fish. These ones came headless and already clean. My bake just finished, and I'm gonna brush it with some butter. Amazing! You can add any ingredients to this bake and make it your own signature bake. You can add some Italian seasoning, you can add, you know, any dry seasoning of your choice, and you can make it your own beautiful flavored bake. So now I'm gonna rest it for about 10 to 12 minutes until it cool down a little before I cut into it. Never cut your baked goods as soon as they finish because they'll crumble. You won't get a perfect texture or finish that you're looking for. So since the bread is done and I finished frying the fish, I'm gonna serve it up very nice and simple. You can add tomatoes, lettuce, cucumber, pickles, endless possibilities. You can add mustard, ketchup, pepper sauce. But today, because we want to have that fresh, nice bake and fish flavor, we're just gonna add a slice of tomato. So I'm slicing up a nice big juicy tomato, and I'm gonna serve it just like that with the fish. So when you bite into it, all you'll taste is that beautiful bake and fish flavor. Nothing in there to hide any flavor. So look at these tomatoes, how nice and juicy and big they are. So Matthew, I'm gonna serve you up here since this was your request. And maybe I'm gonna have mine with a little bit of pepper sauce. That's all with the tomato, the fish, and the bake. So check out what the lunch looked like. Amazing and beautiful carrot bake. Check those out. Oh my goodness. I will cut in and let you guys see how it looked from the inside. Matthew convinced me to make a pepper, ketchup, and mayo dipping sauce. I have my tomatoes and I have the fried Bangamary, nice and crispy. So let's put together one for Matthew as he requested earlier. And we want to go in with some of that sauce that they like to have with theirs. You want on both sides, Ma?
Yeah.
Okay. They will drink this stuff up. And we're going to go in. I made it a little bit spicy. So
I like it like that.
You like it spicy? And then we're gonna add a nice big juicy tomato here. Look at that. And we're gonna add a nice piece of fried fish on the other side. Tell me guys, are you drooling on the other side? And then you can eat it open. There's this bone here to remove, or we can put it like that. Let me show you. Look at that. Classic homemade baked and fried fish with some tomatoes in there. This is a powerful lunch. In Guyana, bake is very popular and the Caribbean, and is a go-to for breakfast, lunch, dinner, or anytime you're on the road and want a quick bite. A perfect bake and fry fish always goes well with a glass of lemonade, and we do have some lemonade. So Matthew requested this dish and I'm gonna let him do the taste test. So Matthew, if you wanna dive in there and let us know how your carrot bake and fried fish taste, that will be amazing.
So I'm gonna have to go in for a big bite.
Yep, take your bite, buddy. And I'll give you a chance to chew and tell us. So Matthew, what do you think now?
So I had the sauce, the tomatoes, the fish, and the radish. Everything tastes amazing. The sauce complements all the dish and adds such a good flavor. And I waited 3 whole weeks for this, and all the wait paid off. Yeah.
So you had to say about that 3 weeks thing. Eh? Turn it around. Let me see. No, yeah, the whole thing. You had to mention that, right? Look how beautiful it is, guys. Amazing. And I know that he's gonna enjoy it because every time I make it, they always do. So until then, please give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, we hope you will consider subscribing soon. We want to say happy and blessed Saturday, and for all my Canadian friends and family, happy Thanksgiving weekend. We love you guys. Bye for now.